Welcome to our needs analysis of Helen, West Virginia, addressing illegal drug activity by Jason Moore and myself, Stephen Ofield. Drug abuse is a growing problem in America. West Virginia has been greatly affected by the disease of addiction. In 2015, West Virginia had the highest rate of drug overdose deaths in the nation. There is a positive correlation between drug abuse and crime. Every year, over 500,000 individuals who commit crimes meet the criteria for substance abuse disorder. On average, individuals suffering from drug addiction commit 63 crimes a year. In 1 year, there were 3,243 drug-related arrests in West Virginia. Helen is home to 219 residents and is located in Raleigh County, West Virginia. A total of 57 dwellings dot the landscape. Many of the houses look similar to each other as the coal companies that built them did so in efficient and reproducible ways. Several houses look worse for wear and in need of repair. One made road, State Route 16, cuts through the town, dividing the town almost exactly in half. Beside backyard fences, the only two places that people seem to gather are the post office and the playground park area in the middle of town. The only business that is in operation in Helen is the post office, which is only open a few hours in the morning. The general tone of the town is not wealthy, but rather somewhat run down. There is an old apartment building that has been shuttered and mothballed. In contrast to the old apartment building, Helen Baptist Church is very well kept and looks pretty in the midst of the town. But it's not the building or the architecture that define Helen. It is the people. In order to find out what the people of the community thought and felt, the most effective mode was to sit down and talk to them. In these surveys, a lot was said about the goals and plans and hopes they have for themselves and their community. One of the major themes that kept resurfacing was the problems that individuals, families, and the town in general were experiencing with illegal drugs. It would seem that there was a script most of them were reading from that talked about the people they knew who were on drugs, selling drugs, or whose life had been destroyed by them. A lot of them talked about what they remembered about the town's past, how busy it was, how many families used to live there, where old buildings used to stand, and where people they used to know used to live. But the common refrain would come back to how all that was a long time ago, and how now it just seemed like everybody in the town is feeling the effects of the drugs mentioned before. Also prevalent in the interviews was the work that had been done in the past by the Winding Gulf Restoration Organization, known as WeGrow. It was WeGrow who had done a lot of cleanup and upkeep in the town. It was WeGrow who had gotten the funds for and helped erect the playground equipment and the coal miners' memorial in the park. And it was WeGrow who had organized and orchestrated the mothballing of the apartment buildings. There was a lot of positive talk about WeGrow, but all the positive talk was much like the references to the glory days of Helen. It was something that had come and gone. And why? Mostly due to a line of disagreement revolving around how to handle illegal drug activity in the area. WeGrow had at one time conducted a community watch program to help monitor any suspicious activity. But disagreements over how this should be handled caused lines to be drawn, feelings were hurt, and bitterness began to emerge, and the neighborhood watch stopped. And WeGrow pretty much lost its volunteers because they were a house divided. WeGrow still functions and does a few things, mowing the grass, some cleanup stuff, but overall is a shell of what it used to be. And the drug issues, still there, still known to everybody, and not going away. Anonymous online surveys were conducted as well. The results echoed the same thoughts and feelings as the face-to-face surveys. The majority of the respondents reported that drug abuse is a problem in Helen, West Virginia. In addition to this, the majority of respondents stated they personally knew someone living in Helen who was addicted to drugs. Unfortunately, all respondents reported that there are currently no services in Helen to address this issue. Also exposed through the online surveys was dissatisfaction in local government and law enforcement. The majority of respondents reported that local government was slow to respond and ineffective at solving problems in Helen. Respondents also revealed a need for law enforcement to be more aware of the issues in Helen, increase the frequency of police patrols, and respond quicker to calls for assistance. As mentioned before, the one thing that makes Helen what it is its people. As such, the greatest internal resource that Helen has is the people who live there. These people are resilient, hardworking, loving, and ingenuitive. And all in all, they are a tight-knit group of folks with a mentality that says, everyone else may have forgotten us and given up on us, but here we are, and we aren't going anywhere. Another internal resource in Helen is the experience that was gained by the work of We Grow in the past and the attention it brought to the town. Are there other resources available in Helen? The easy answer is no. There just isn't anything going on in this sleepy little town. No business, no influx of people, no significant traffic, no signs of anything changing. It's a sad reality of rural, small town, abandoned coal town, West Virginia. The limited resources, however, do not mean hopelessness or surrender in the battle against illegal drug activity. There are options, and the best ones are going to be tapping into resources and help from outside of the town. Brian Safe House and Sparrow's Nest, located in Beckley, West Virginia, have expressed a desire to help the citizens of Helen. These two organizations are ready and willing to provide 12-month inpatient treatment to anyone in Helen who is suffering from substance abuse disorder. In addition to this, I have decided to volunteer my services to facilitate a Celebrate Recovery or Narcotics Anonymous group in Helen. The other options that seem to be in place for Helen to receive help are found in the connections that were established when We Grow was functioning at full capacity. According to some of the residents we spoke to, there were talks of obtaining a vista through the AmeriCorps programs of that name. Also, there were people volunteering several services to possibly get awareness and resources coming into the community. These are the types of things that need to be rekindled and made available again. So now what? After seeing the raw data, after looking into the literature, after polling the residents of Helen in order to bond with them, the strengths of Helen is its people. They need to band together to fight this epidemic known as addiction. We Grow has had great success in the past. Differences need to be set aside and the organization should be reestablished. Community members need to raise awareness with local law enforcement and government officials. It has to be known to all that drug abuse is a problem in Helen and the citizens want to do something about it. Community members need to reach out to those who are suffering an addiction and let them know there is help and services available to them. These services include establishing a weekly recovery meeting and partnering with Brian Safe House and Sparrow's Nest for community members who are in need of inpatient treatment for substance abuse disorder. In the end, it has to be people reaching out to people, making a difference one day at a time, one life at a time.